Oh my goodness me. What a fantastic game of football that we've just witnessed. It had absolutely everything, and Wolves came out 3-2 winners against Manchester City, having been 2 goals down. What a fantastic performance by our beautiful, lovely, fantastic football team. I'm in love with them this evening. Having followed them around for nearly 2.5 years or so now, I've not seen a game like that. It was a little bit reminiscent, I suppose, of the Bristol City game a couple of years ago at Christmas time, but that is on a different stratosphere to that because of the level of opposition that we were playing against. I've just come home and listening to Talk Sport on the radio, and they haven't mentioned Wolves once. So here, I'm not going to talk about Man City at all. I'm not going to talk about their deficiencies and how poor they were. I'm just going to talk about Wolves because this is a Wolves channel, and that's what we want to hear. So the first half, I was preparing my video in my head and I was thinking about how much I hated that first half. Not the football, not what was going on, not that we were losing, but the VAR aspect. And I don't want to spend too much time on that again because it didn't affect the result in the end because, fine. But what I was impressed with was the way that we scared Manchester City. Their defence we knew was weak because of they're missing Vincent Kompany. And Otamendi and Mendy are terrible, terrible players for that level of in the league. And we exploited them throughout the first half. We looked dangerous. We were able to pin them back, which nobody ever does to Manchester City. Okay, we had an extra player, and that had a huge impact on the game. It was a definite red card. It was a great ball over the top, through the middle from, I think it was Sace, either Sace or Cody, and Jota getting taken out by Edison. The only thing I thought at the time was perhaps he could have tried to get his little dink on target because it would have gone in, and Edison would have got sent off through VAR anyway. But that changed the game then. City had to change the way that they thought about the game. Bringing Aguero off as well was a huge plus for us, and then being able to overrun them in midfield then because of the extra man. And to be honest, I think Ruben Neves had his best game this season today. I think he was able to control the press in midfield a lot better than the City players. He controlled that midfield alongside Moutinho. We expect an 8 out of 10 performance from him every single week, and he provided that. But for me, the key battle in the whole game was Dendoncker and De Bruyne, because De Bruyne at the moment is the top player in the Premier League, apart from Adama Traore. But Dendoncker had De Bruyne in his pocket the whole game, and whenever De Bruyne had the ball, 2 or 3 Wolves players would come and help him, often Neves and Moutinho as well. So that was really, really key aspect of the game, that we did not let De Bruyne do anything. And as he was brought off towards the end of the game, Guardiola was going on at him. It wasn't his fault. It was because Dendoncker played superbly well, and Dendoncker is up there for my man of the match. So to get in at half-time at 1-0, I don't want to spend too much talking about the VAR decisions because I think from what I understand, they were all the correct decision, which is what VAR is supposed to provide, but I don't like the way that it works. I think there should be a review system still. I keep repeating myself on that, and that's fine. We were unfortunate, and without VAR, we win that game comfortably, but it does happen. The way that we started the second half, I think, was a little bit disappointing, just because we were cut open so easily with the ball through for Sterling. But that goal, I think, might be important for us, because I would show that goal to Diogo Jota over and over and over again. He needs to watch how Sterling took that goal, and he needs to just copy that, because it was such a well taken goal. And at the time, I thought it was going to be the winning goal, obviously, for City to put them 2-0 up. I thought it was unlikely we were going to get back in the game. But Wolves didn't let their heads drop. They kept in the game. They stayed in the game. And that was important as well. And I don't think we were behind by 2 for that long. I can't, from memory, it was all a bit of a blur now. But Traore was superb. I can't believe he's the same player that we saw last season. And even at the start of this season of the games, the Crystal Palace game, I remember standing there with my mates, just shouting at him, screaming at him to move into the right place or to track back or whatever. He's an absolutely amazing player. And as I mentioned earlier, there is no player better than him in the Premier League at the moment. He's out of this world with his ability and his skill. And now the shots from the edge of the area, they're not flukes. He must have been practicing them, and they're dangerous, fierce shots across the goalkeeper, very difficult to deal with. And 2 goals in 2 games prove that they are not flukes. So that was great. Buzz in the crowd then, people getting back into it, thinking, right, we're in this game. And then, again, Traore's persistence. Mendy should have cleared the ball in any direction, even if he put it out for a corner. Traore wins the ball back, rolls it back to Jimenez in the right place at the right time, and puts it back. And at that point, I think everybody's pretty happy with the way we fought back, and to get a point from the game, we'd have settled for that. But then we kept on going. And this is the difference, because Man City, in the first 5 minutes, I turned to my dad and said, they are so fast. Everything that they were doing was 100 miles an hour, and it was to feet, and looked impressive. But then they were tiring. Of course, they were down to 10 men, and that had a huge impact on them. But we were able to play in the same pace and the same way throughout the whole game, and that's what ultimately got us the 3 points. Because then that interplay, the way that Jimenez stops the ball and rolls it backwards without looking back to Doherty, is a classic goal. We've seen Doherty score so many of those goals, but usually against Reading, and now he's doing it against Manchester City. A fantastic moment, and a game that'll live long in the memory for everybody who's there. Very much like a pantomime as well, I felt. If you think about the game as an event, it started really well, things were going in Wolves' favour, great, setting the scene, nice, we've got a good football match on. Then bang, the big baddie VAR comes along, and you think, oh no. And then things get worse, they go 2-0 down, but then eventually it all ends with a fairy tale ending. A fantastic performance, and we shouldn't be afraid now of going to Anfield, and we shouldn't be thinking, oh, we're going to be really tired, or we shouldn't be too confident. I think if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be worried now about the game on Sunday, because nobody is going to want to play us. You saw the way that the City fans were celebrating when they went 2-0 up, because they thought, against all odds, against a good Wolves team. You saw the way that Mourinho celebrated. Wolves are a big scalp now for the big teams, and we're providing a difficult test for them. Liverpool will not want to play us on Sunday, and I really, really hope that we can get something from that game. I predicted beforehand that we would win one of these two fixtures, either against City or Liverpool, but I did not expect it to go like that this afternoon or this evening. I hope that everybody, all around the world, I suppose, who've watched it on Amazon Prime, have enjoyed it, and perhaps we'll get a few new international fans from watching this today. And I'm just a little bit concerned now about Traore, because I think there's going to be some very, very big offers tabled for him in the next couple of weeks as the January transfer window opens. But if I was in charge of Wolves, if I was Jeff Shee or Nuno, there's no price that anybody can pay to get him off us, because he's I'd argue, at the moment, I'm not sure when it gets announced, but for December Player of the Month, Adama Traore has got to be up there, and I would argue his case to be the man. He's been superb. I hope you all enjoyed that. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel, and perhaps check out some of the other videos on the channel as well. There's a couple of longer videos that are quite enjoyable to watch. So see you on Sunday for the review of the Liverpool game, and hopefully another surprise 3 points. The top 4 is 100% on. 100%. I can't wait. Champions League, here we come.
Buzzing down the chip shop, by now you must have heard. The Wolves I'm going to Wembley, buzzing either word.